Yep, I'm back in Immortals Fenyx Rising. This game has just completely captured my attention. I'm probably going to... I might not 100% it. There are a couple of vaults where it's kind of annoying to try and succeed at them. But, I mean, just look how it feels to live in this world. I'll kind of be sad when I run out of open world content to vacuum up, because it just feels so good to explore this world and find all the weird little details in it. So right now I'm maybe halfway through, or maybe towards the end of the, and I think I'm probably about halfway through the last god that I need to unlock. In fact, I'll show you here where I am. So you can see I have checked off a lot of boxes all over the map. So Grove of Cleos, I think this is where, was this where? No, this isn't. This is so Aphrodite was the Valley of Eternal Spring, and I've basically unlocked all of Aphrodite's stuff. Ares, I've unlocked all of his stuff, and Athena, I unlocked all of Athena's stuff. Now I'm working on Hephaestos. And so I'm following. The first thing I do whenever I go to one of these lands is, I'll climb to the top of the statue. I'll unlock the map of the area, and then I will just go around and scout and scout and scout and find as much open world stuff as I can. And the only stuff I don't do is stuff that feels hidden from me, like this unexplored vault here. I haven't figured out where it is exactly. It seems to be underground. And similarly, this one over here, it's up on the top of like it feels like the Devil's Tower from Close Encounters of the Third Kind. And it's got like stamina sapping magic around it, so I can't climb it. And so there's several reasons. This right here, this lyre is here because I haven't found the last musical note. It's somewhere on this map. I just don't know where. So there's a few places here and there that I haven't been able to unlock, but I basically do all of the open world stuff first. And then after that stuff is all knocked out, then I go and I try to do the actual main quest. So that means I tend to be kind of over-leveled for the combat, I think, for a lot of the main quests, which is fine. I like this combat when it's quick and satisfying and not extremely threatening. That's actually, I mean, because I think because the reason I play this game is because it's relaxing to me. I kind of don't want the combat to be so hard that it makes me question whether I'm going to succeed. Like, I want it to have enough of a challenge that I do have to be engaged in order to succeed, but I don't want to have doubts about my success. I kind of want to be able to chill while I'm playing it. So this game, by letting me sort of like calmly explore the terrain, unlock a bunch of upgrades, and over-level myself beyond the combat, that's actually really good. Like, I think to some degree the enemies do level up to sort of meet me, but I'm not exactly sure how it works exactly, because I'm pretty sure that if I came to Hephaestos' area first, these enemies would not be nearly as hard as they've been. Because everywhere I go, I run into enemies that are pretty tough. Gonna murder a bear. I don't know why this game has a stealth system. Because you only ever get one hit out of it, and it's never like a death blow. Or like if it's a death blow, it's on an enemy that was so inconsequential. Oops, I hit the wrong button there. That it just doesn't matter. And so they've got this entire stealth system in the game. I mean, it's not like a super complicated one or anything. But they got this whole system that really just doesn't belong. And it makes me wonder if maybe they had a more elaborate stealth setup at one point earlier on in development, and then cut it from significance, but didn't cut it from the game. I mean, this is an Assassin's Creed team, and so you can imagine that, if they were building on Assassin's Creed as a base, they might have just gotten a stealth system practically for free, so they're just like, why not? Timothy McLean says, scaling levels is always tricky. You don't want them to scale so closely that your progress is effectively negated, but you also want to have a good idea of how tough any given fight is going to be. Yeah, so that's like... The fact that this has worked out exactly the way I want it to means that either they did a shockingly good job of the level scaling, or they just happened to do a job. Like it could be that there's no actual like right way to do enemies like level scaling, like scaling enemies difficulty to match your level. It could be that there's no perfect way to do that, and this game just happened to hit the sweet spot for me as a player. And and there's other players, like if a player is playing this because they want to constantly be challenged within an inch of their lives. Oh, I just realized that I've climbed up above my destination. But yeah, if a player just always wants to be challenged within an inch of their lives, and that's why they're playing this game, they could be disappointed. Oh, and now it's above me. Where is it? Interesting. This auto leveling system could actually be very frustrating for a player like that. So because I've only got the one playthrough, I can't actually prove that the enemies are auto leveling with me. It could be that they're not. It could just be that I played the levels in the right order, and that's that. It could also be so there's sort of a treatment that you'll see on the enemy's health bar, where some enemies will have this sort of like extra like filigree around their health bar, and that seems different from some enemies being blue or purple, which indicates that they're more that they're tougher than the standard enemies. And so I'm not sure if maybe like one of those is the auto leveling system, the other one is just geographic. Like maybe, all the enemies in Hephaestos' realm are purple, and Hephaestos' realm is the furthest away from where you start. And so their enemies are purple, but maybe the game can apply that extra filigree to enemies that you out-level to bring them up to meet you, or something like that. Like, I feel like there's some kind of system like that under the hood, but I can't promise you that that's true. If I played the game again, if I like beat the entire game and then play it again, I would try to play it backwards and see what happens, and like see if the enemies are still level to me, or if I am basically channeled by the challenge of the enemies to play the game in a certain order. But yeah, Dan31 points out that I have so much more health and stamina than he does. So I basically have practically maxed it out. I think I might have one more health segment to earn, but otherwise I've basically maxed it out. So these automatons are interesting because... Oh, yikes. I forgot they did that. So they've got a lot of health, they do a lot of damage, but they're extremely weak to my stamina attacks. And so since I've got, like, pretty leveled up stamina attacks, and I've unlocked this this god power that's basically basically all about delivering a lot of stamina damage all at once. And I think I've got different powers that actually restore my health whenever I stun enemies. I end up able to sort of stun lock these guys, and when they do damage with that little explosion they do at the end, I can negate that by stunning them again. Okay, so this is an area I've already explored, but it says that the place I'm headed, is it straight down from me? Let's see, where... I'm watching the compass at the top here, and it looks like it inverts as I walk through this entrance. So it's below me, right beneath this entrance. So I've had this problem with a couple of Hephaestos challenges, where it's like I just can't figure out the architecture. Is this where I want to be? Okay. So these are furnaces. I have to throw coal in the furnaces and set the coal on fire. They've already taught me that in several other puzzles. We've got piles of coal here, but I need to find these little orbs of coal that I can manipulate. So what's this going to be? Okay, so we've got a fire arrow challenge. Seems like a pretty straightforward one. It's so funny that this arrow shooting mechanic is a mechanic in the recent Assassin's Creed games. It's like, this game is so different aesthetically from Assassin's Creed, but you can just still see all of the same DNA. Okay, so I've unlocked this. So I'm gonna light the coal on fire. Oh no! Oh, it did work. Okay, I thought that had failed.
This symbol means fire. Makes sense for a forge. And that one could be a hammer. Hephaestos has the mightiest hammer ever crafted.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a surprise that I'm doing stuff for Hephaestos. That is why I'm here. Okay, I'm turning up the game audio a little bit because it does tend to be subtle. Like, one thing that I actually really like about this game is the fact that it's really easy to listen to other things while I'm playing it. Okay, so there's 3 symbols here. This looks like it wants me to set these things on fire, but... Okay, so there's an axe, some horns, and a hammer and knife? So do we want to just do it in that order? Axe, horn, and... Oh, missed. Okay, looks like that did it. Oh, ah! Nope. Okay, I forgot. I've unlocked the ability to slow down these arrows. I just keep forgetting to use it. I'm glad they'll accept near misses there.
I think it represents this forge. And that one matches the statue outside. These are some kind of clue.
So Dan31 says, I just want to highlight that this new streaming time is awesome. RIP OG lunch streams. Yeah, so for those who don't know, I used to stream all the time during my lunch break when I worked at an office. I no longer work at an office. I work at my home office. And so for a while, that actually became tough because, my family actually needed me to be, present during lunch breaks. That's actually when I helped my daughter with her math, stuff like that. And so lunchtime streams were not going to work. And so I tried to do late night streams for a while, which really made it difficult for a lot of people to watch me live, which makes a lot of sense. And so, yeah, so I'm trying out something new here by doing it in the morning before anyone needs me around my house. We'll see how that works.
I'm seeing snow, but trapped in a globe. I'd call it inclement weather bubble. Maybe snowsphere. No,
Hephaestos, you're here.
it's like the forge was calling me. I couldn't ignore it.
About that, I cleared the vents, started the fires, and got the water wheels moving. Even unlocked some strange glyphs inside, but nothing happened.
Well, I was talking to my friends, as one does, and they said they're the key to restarting it. They have to touch things.
Now we're talking. Zeus.
This place is ancient. They say you built this entire forge yourself.
Me? But it's so grim, so dirty, and that lighting.
Seems pretty obvious. Something needs to happen here.
Wait, we don't know what that does.
My little one. Aren't you industrious? A shame your labors have been wasted on mediocrity. The disfigured god's past is a cesspool. His future, the cleansing fires of the Forge. Turn away! Leave him to burn in its flames!
Hephaestos, run!
Ah.
Your potential is outweighed by your foolishness! A pity I have to balance the scales!
Okay. Oh, he's in laser mode. I hate laser mode! I assume he has the same strengths and weaknesses as other lieutenants? Yes. Oh, he has other automatons? Yep, this is going to be just like the other ones. Oh, gosh! Okay, except I need to actually dodge his attacks. I'm realizing that actually my leveled up version of that move is bad, because I think the way it works is whenever an enemy takes damage, their stun meter goes down and it delays it. Sorry, and it accelerates their return from stun mode. And the problem with that is that the leveled up version of that move does a second hit that basically annihilates their entire stun meter. So you gotta be careful with that.
Hephaestos, come out. Ah, you're okay.
What is this? Such pain in this markings. Sorrow? Suffering?
Real art. I'd say you were trying to leave us a message.
Me? How expedient.
I think past you left a clue to recover your memory. Something Typhon couldn't decipher. Can you read any of it?
It's incomplete.
Hephaestos, you genius! It is missing a piece. Now, where did I put it? This isn't your signature, Hephaestos. It's the rest of the puzzle. Hammer, a forge's fire, the statue, and this box. Do you know what this is?
I don't.
Of course, he did not know what it was, but in their possession was Pandora's box.
You dare to open this again? Chaining you to this rock was your justice for giving fire to mortals. Pandora's box was the mortals' justice.
So you forced your son Hephaestus to forge a box capable of unleashing every conceivable evil upon them? That's justice?
Hephaestus was happy to oblige. He knew what he was doing.
He did what he was ordered to do after you tortured him for his entire existence.
Don't you talk about my son!
Pandora acted with innocent curiosity by opening that box. You acted with vile contempt.
I gave them a warning, and look what happened! Mortals ravaged and defiled their world and each other. Clearly, the warning was not enough. It's finished now. They are stone, and Pandora's box was the beginning of the end.
So, first, we need a hammer. Where did you... Never mind. I think past you is telling us we need to imbue that hammer with the power of the Forge's fire, then break through here.
That is so mean.
If I'm reading this right, your essence is underneath. But that's not all. I told you what this is.
That'll be a box.
No. Well, yes. But also, it used to contain every kind of suffering. Enough suffering to fill the world. And you suffered, Hephaestos. A lot. Cast from Mount Olympus. Rejected. Alone. No matter how generous you were. No matter how hard-working. Every god rejected you just because you were different. This box is the final clue. I think Typhon stole your suffering, and that's why you lost your memories.
So, to get my memories, to get my talent back.
You mean feeling the pain that's been locked away?
Go.
People in chat are commenting on the fact that everyone seems to be able to just make objects disappear into their body. Like, she picked up that hammer, and then in the next shot did not have it. You're like, where did she put it? I don't know. They're referring to it as the Highlander sword void. Okay, there's a few things that I wanted to point out. One thing was, I don't know if you remember this, but when we reactivated this building, it did these very simple, like, clean camera moves, almost kind of robotic camera moves, to, like, show you, look, like, pulled out, look, here's the building, here's the fire, here's this other thing. The game uses those kinds of camera moves throughout it. Like any time they're doing any kind of fast-paced thing, like say you're leveling up your health or something like that, they do a cutscene that's in that style of, like, look over here, look at that, oh, this thing's over here, whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. And I think that they cultivate that on purpose because it's so useful for just conveying raw information to the player. Like, sometimes, I'm sure we've all played games where the game needs to convey some information to you with a camera move, and it feels really, like, jarring and artificial. Like, oh, now the game is showing me this thing with a camera move. Gosh, and it kind of breaks you out of sort of the cinematic atmosphere and makes you really focus on the fact that this game is artificial. But because this game cultivates, just even in the purely artistic, not utilitarian parts of the game, it cultivates this cinematic style that is extremely useful for conveying that kind of information. Those things aren't really jarring. You get really used to, well, this is how the camera moves in this game, and you just get really accustomed to it, and so it doesn't feel jarring when the game just goes out of its way to show you information. So I think that is a clever move. So this is telling me I need to go up. The mark on my compass has got a little up arrow next to it, so that's what I'm doing. Oh, one of these guys. You know what? I don't want to deal with it. Don't want to deal with it. The tank asked, did you design that character with Elizabeth Hurley's face, or did they do that? I can see why you see a resemblance there. I did choose the face that I wanted to have. I think there were multiple options. They all fall into roughly the same range. It does freak me out a little bit, though, whenever I watch commercials for Immortals Fenyx Rising. And the character they have, she is very similar to my character, but doesn't have exactly the same face. And so she always just looks just a little bit wrong, like almost like Uncanny Valley-ish to me. The timing on those guys, charge move is always really weird to me. They charge it up for a long time compared to other red, unblockable moves. And so I always dodge it too early. It's weird. Okay, so we got a fire here. Let's interact with the fire.
Despite the extreme heat, Phoenix carried on undeterred, plunging the hammer of Hephaestos into the heart of the fire.
Prometheus, this is pushing it. No human could dream of holding that hammer.
Or holding your lightning. And yet, absorbing the power of the flames, the hammer came alive. And with it, Phoenix released the second of Hephaestos' blessings. With the hammer revived and Hephaestos' suffering trapped below, all Phoenix had to do now was jump.
All right. This is one of my favorite things to do in this game, is just fall and then catch myself with my wings at the very last second. For a second, I thought that was a statue of Achilles, and she was hitting its heel. Okay, wait, so is this... It's so interesting. So they let me detect this vault and where it lived a long time ago, but it was buried under the ground. I literally couldn't reach it. It kind of drove me crazy for a little bit. And then until I figured out this is right in the middle of Hephaestus's like fortress, basically, or right in front of it. It's probably a part of the main quest. But unfortunately, it's been fun to unlock this last thing, but my next meeting's in 20 minutes, and I don't know how long it's going to take me to complete this vault, because I just unlocked Hephaestus's second blessing. Let's have a look at what that is exactly. Perfectly timed parries create a fiery shockwave that inflicts 820 damage. Okay, well, I'm going to do some more parrying then. That sounds great. What else have I unlocked? Oh, a new type of wing. The smoldering wings of Zeus. I think I've already got like the sexy wings of Zeus, so I don't know if I need the smoldering ones. And some other quest items. Cool. Anyway, so I'm assuming this is probably the final Hephaestus vault, which means I'm going to be trapped in there for a while, and I don't want to do that if I've got a meeting that I'm going to have to quit, you know, right in the middle of it for. So let's just call an end to this video. Put up the other videos, subscribe button, all that stuff, and I think we'll be done for the day, and I will get ready for actual work. But I hope you folks like this new streaming time. I'll try to keep it up and see if it works.